This is the Wisekrakrbusiness Warframe, and today we're going to talk about the Ogris. And this is a weapon you can build in your dojo. And today I'm going to show you some suggestions for some builds. So our first build is a blast build with 4 formas installed, wildfire, and all the other heat damage mods. We got serration, heavy caliber, of course the split chamber mod, and shred for some higher fire rate and punch through. And we got firestorm for AoE extra blast damage. But before we can see how great and how much damage this weapon does, look at how accurate it is. I'm standing in front of an enemy and my rockets go past them, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, finally it hits them. Jesus. But look at how accurate this weapon is. And you have to keep that in mind, because you have to stand far away from your enemies when you shoot your Ogris, because otherwise you kill yourself. So this weapon is best used against large groups of enemies, especially when you do these defense missions. And as you can see, we got all these enemies here lying on the ground for us, and I'm just shooting my Ogris constantly. And as you can see, there is a little bit of charging time when you want to shoot, and that is why we got our fire rate mod installed, because it will take a long time for it to charge up and shoot your rocket. When you do, you see all your enemies flying high in the sky, and they even leave their mods and resources in the air. But that's no trouble for me. Now let's test out how much damage this weapon can do. And as you can see, we got level 120 bastards in front of us. And as you can see, they all fly. And if they don't fly, they get knocked down, ready for finishers, or even more rockets. So now it's time for a second build, an electricity blast and viral build, and this time with the spring-loaded mod, so that after every reload we have a higher fire rate for 9 seconds. And because this weapon reloads pretty fast, you can imagine that your fire rate is always good with this build. And we have the shred mod as well, so for some extra fire rate, and of course all the other mods for the elemental damage. So here we go, doing a void mission, and as you can see, it gets harder now because you need to move and you need to charge your weapon, and that's hard with the Ogris, as you can see. And because we need to be careful not to get hit by our own blast damage, so keep moving and bring a strong frame, because it can happen that you hit yourself, but you only get hit by a third of the total damage, including elemental damage. So our last build of the day is a blast and corrosive build, again with such high damage, and again with the spring-loaded chamber. And this time we also have the prime fast hands for even faster reload. Almost no reload with this build, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, this is just a suggestion, so you can pick and choose all your favorite mods. So let's do this against the Grenier. We're here on top because, well, again, we need some space because we don't want to get hurt by our own AoE blast. And as you can see, it works out pretty great. You have a fast fire rate and you reload even faster. Look at that. Bam, reloaded and time to go. Bam. And that is how you kill all these bastards surrounding you. And as you can see, they also fly around, so you have a bit of fun seeing your enemies fly about all over the place. So while we are killing all of these bastards, let's hit you with some facts about the Ogris. First of all, you need to charge it up. And second, it has an extremely high AoE damage. You can fire this weapon while sprinting. You can charge it up while rolling. And you can kill enemies behind cover. And as I showed you in the beginning, this weapon isn't the most accurate one. And the projectiles that you fire have a slow flight speed. But ladies and gentlemen, when you want to kill large groups of enemies and you want to kill them with one shot, this is the weapon for you. And now you have some builds to play around with. I told you earlier that the blast damage of the Ogris will kill you as well. But if you have the Inaros equipped and you have such high health, it is possible to shoot yourself with it and kill as many enemies that surround you. I hope you enjoyed the Ogris. Check me out in all my other videos, and I hope to see you there. And until then, adios! And your enemies drown in it. But the tactic is, you can, for instance, take over a tower by just placing a puddle there and drowning all your enemies that want to take over that tower. You do damage over time while your enemies are in the puddle, and if they did not die and you deactivate your ability, they come back up and you have to finish them off the old-fashioned way. And while you are in the puddle, you are totally immune to any damage.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.